And I know that it's very serious format and people take it very, very seriously. But in my opinion, it seems just silly. And so I want to do weird, silly things with it.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Zabracus. I am a full-time content creator and Magic the Gathering enthusiast. I don't know the best way to put that. I'm also a professional cosplayer, so I make a lot of cosplays and wear them and to conventions and other random places. You can find me on any of the social medias that you use, most likely. I make a lot of silly reels and TikToks, and just post dumb content on all the social medias. I don't remember the other question.
That was it. Who are you, and where can we find you, and what do you do? You've answered the question.
Oh, good.
So thank you very much for introducing yourself. I'm not cutting any of that out. That's all going in.
Oh, perfect.
There's no editing. But yes, thank you very much for joining me in this little sit down saga conversation about your journey in and through Magic the Gathering. We're going to start things at the beginning because that's the most logical place to do it. And I want you to kind of tell me and let the people watching, if there's anyone watching, hello, let us know kind of how you discovered Magic the Gathering was an entity that existed in the world. Like, what was your first kind of touch point with Magic?
Yeah, so my first intro to Magic the Gathering was back in 2017, 2018-ish. So I'm actually pretty new to Magic. I was streaming on Twitch, and I was streaming like Overwatch and just other random games like that I used to like. And I had a friend who, she was a really big Hearthstone streamer. Her name was Alkali Lake. And she was doing the beta for Magic the Gathering Arena at the time. And she's like, hey, I think you'll really like this game. Because she knew that I played Hearthstone and I kind of liked it, but she also knew that I really liked Dungeons and Dragons. And since D&D and Magic are by the same company, she's like, yeah, there's a lot of crossover. You'll like it. And she's like, okay, so you have to check out this game. They're in beta for their online thing. Like, you got to check it out. And I was like, okay, why not? I like card games. I like fantasy. Let's check this out. And so I was actually doing a 24-hour live stream, my first and only Twitch 24-hour live stream. And I was like, okay, what can I do during this to like keep myself engaged? And so that was the first time I ever played Magic the Gathering. Was on Arena during my 24-hour stream in the middle of the night. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. I was terrible, but I probably played it for like 12 hours in a row.
Okay.
Because I was just super into it. And from there, I just fell in love with the game, and I kept streaming it. And through streaming it, I learned about so many amazing Magic the Gathering content creators, and started realizing that there's like this really amazing community behind this game. Like, and I wasn't finding that community on Twitch with any of the other games I was streaming. Like, Overwatch is just so toxic. Like, it's so hard to connect with other streamers unless you're already like a giant streamer. And like with RPGs and stuff, there's just not a lot of people, and so there's not always like community there. But with Magic, you could be in any person's stream, and like everyone is just so excited to be there and so happy most of the time. And so I just started streaming it more and more, and really finding my community and just loving the game and the engagement with it. And I've never looked back. It's been so much fun. I love the game. I love the community.
Okay. So
sorry, that was a really long backstory.
No, that's what we're here for. That's what we want. So you started with Arena. So you started online. What was your first experience with Paper Magic then?
So I actually didn't start playing Paper Magic until 2022.
Okay, wow.
2021, 2022. I was just an arena zoomer for the longest time. But I mean, like, I started playing Magic like right before COVID, and then during COVID, no one was playing in person anyway. I didn't have any friends that I knew that played Magic in person. I didn't have any at that time. And so all of my friends were online. All of my Magic stuff was online. And so it wasn't until I don't even remember the exact moment, but it was probably like a Command Fest or something leading up to a MagicCon of some sort that I finally played Paper Magic. Oh wait, no, I do remember what it was. It was a pre-release.
Okay.
I don't remember which one. It may have been New Capenna. I think it was New Capenna.
2022. Yeah, it'd be like New Capenna, Kamigawa sort of time.
I think I take that back. I think I did play like a pre-con or two like before then, just to kind of get the vibes of Paper Magic, but I wasn't like super into it yet. Like I didn't get it. But then it was a pre-release, New Capenna, and I was so nervous because like although I knew all of the rules and everything from Arena, because Arena is actually really good at teaching people how to play Magic.
Yes, it is.
I was just still so nervous about having to remember all the triggers myself, like untap, upkeep, draw. It's like all of just the simple things. But it was a lot of fun. So just slowly forcing myself to play more Paper Magic, because at first I was like, no, I'm never going to do it. I'm not going to invest. Like, I've already invested so much money in this digital client. I'm not going to invest like even more money in paper cards. And lo and behold, I have invested so much in paper cards.
Yes. In a short space of time.
In a short space of time. Yeah. So from there it just kind of spiraled, started playing more Commander. And now I am addicted to CEDH, which is like one of the most expensive ways that you can engage with Magic. But I love it. It's fun.
Unless you play like historic sort of
That's why I said
stuff.
One of the most. Yeah. Like I'm not rich. I can't afford those lands.
They're so nice though. Alpha and beta lands are so nice. But
it's true. Yeah. It's true.
Is when you say, I'll play a vintage Commander deck and I'll do it all. I'll go all beta lands and stuff. And you're like, I'm gonna run 12 lands in this deck, and that's it because it's all I can afford. That's the way you do it.
Yeah.
So
it's sad when like decks are like half of the value is just in like 5 cards. Yeah. That's like and they're all lands.
Every deck with dual lands in. It's like there's the value.
Yep. They're so good.
I don't own a single dual land yet.
I own one for myself. I actually won it in a raffle a few weeks ago. So wow. I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, one day that's the next investment is dual lands, I think, for me.
Yay.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Thanks. I've got everything else, like all my big like the cards I want to I've aspired to own. I have is dual lands next. But anyway, that's a conversation for later in this. So you went from several years playing Arena and online to finally jumping headfirst into Paper Magic. How did going from playing Arena to starting Paper Magic a couple years ago to now being where you are, in your position within the community? You're an ambassador, you're a Magic cosplay, content creator, you do all these things. So how did you get from there to here?
Well, before I ever started playing Magic, I was already doing conventions as a professional cosplayer. I've been doing that since 2015. Okay. So I already had that background of being like a public entertainer. And again, I've been streaming on Twitch since 2017. And so this all just kind of fell into line. Like all of my content just kind of morphed from like all the just random stuff I was doing into just more magic focused content. So instead of doing like random cosplays from a million different things, I started focusing a lot more on doing magic cosplays. And instead of focusing my content on other things, again, I started focusing more on magic. So it was just kind of like a natural morphing progression. Yeah.
Okay. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Do you find having, you mentioned before that the magic community is very welcoming and opening and not as toxic as like the Overwatch community? Do you find that when you kind of transitioned from random cosplay, random gaming stuff into the kind of magic cosplay, and that it kind of the transition was very easy to get into and to kind of maintain?
A really easy transition, just because the community is so welcoming. Like Magic is one of those games where people want new people. Like they want more friends. They want to convert everyone to play Magic with them. It's almost like a cult, but in a good way. Yeah. And so I feel like it was more of like the community dragging me into it than like me dragging myself into the community, you know? Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, the community forced you. They put your arm up your back and forced you to do magic content.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's the community is at fault.
It's always the community's fault.
Yeah. So we're gonna kind of move on to my second line of question, my second phase here. You mentioned the community is very welcoming. It's been a great experience joining that. Now that you're kind of in the position you are in this kind of content creator space within the Magic community, how have you found your experience as a content creator within the Magic community, kind of coming from another content creation space into this one? How have you found this community in that sense, and outside of content creation as just a general Magic fan? How have you found, what's some of the good experiences, shall we say, that you've had during your time here?
Oh my gosh, there are so many amazing experiences and opportunities I've had because of Magic the Gathering and being a part of the Magic the Gathering community. The ones that pop into my head first off was just making some of the best friends that I possibly have in the space. For a couple of years, there were a few of us that we created this brand movement called SheSpark. And we were able to bring that to conventions like DreamHack and have a booth and just have a presence. Like the entire motivation for that was to just have representation for femme presenting and women in the gaming space, because that visual representation is so important. And so we just wanted to have this place where women and femme presenting people can come collaborate with one another, just see each other and work towards a better gaming future in general. And so that was an amazing experience. And that kind of sparked other offshoots of groups doing things like that, like Birds of Paradise, which SheSparks recently merged into. And so it's like just taken on a whole new, bigger mission and purpose. And so that's just been amazing to watch just grow and become a thing over the past few years. Another thing is also going back a little bit is my foray into paper magic. What really, I just remembered, what really got me into paper magic was actually selling magic cards on Whatnot.
Oh, okay.
I do stream on Whatnot. I've been doing that for a few years now. And it was actually through Whatnot that I met my current partner. And Whatnot is not a dating site. But we were both sellers, and we just started chatting just as professionals off the app and plotting different streams and stuff like that. And the more we talked, the more we got to know each other, the more we realized we liked each other, and one thing led to another. And now I'm in California to be with him. So So that's another amazing aspect that Magic has done for me in my life. And I have been able to travel to so many different places and meet so many different people because of Magic, whether through Whatnot or She Sparks or just my brand in general. Like this year alone, like I was doing the math. I've already forgotten the math, but I've been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different conventions this year alone that were all Magic oriented things. And I have another several in the coming month.
That's nearly one a month.
Yes, it's been more than that, but yes. I guess, yeah, the averages. It doesn't help when like 3 of them are in a row.
Yes, this is true.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been amazing, just the different experiences and opportunities I've been able to have. I've met so many of the friends that I've met online, whether it's just random community members who have been stalking my streams for years, to like fellow content creators. I've been able to put those random screen names to faces because Magic the Gathering is all about the gathering. And so I think that's been one of my favorite things, is just meeting so many amazing like-minded people.
Good answer.
I could probably go on telling a million more stories.
Okay, well, I do have a story I wish to hear about.
Okay.
And it's something I've been seeing on your social media of late.
Okay.
A specific thing you've been doing a lot more of, and it is entering CEDH tournaments. Now, I do not play CEDH. I am not wealthy. I am not wild. But I do have decks that are quite high powered that, you know, with the right tweaking could turn into CEDH decks. But I've never played it. I've never played that kind of format and level, which is drastically different to casual Commander. But how did my main question? How did you get into CEDH and doing tournaments?
Like anything in my life, it just kind of happened. So my partner had been trying to get me into CEDH for the past 2 years, and I was just like, no, like. That is just like, I want to keep Magic fun. CEDH doesn't seem fun. Like, but I am a Spike at heart. I like winning. I am a very competitive person. And it's that sometimes that part of me takes over. And I try not to let it interfere with having a good time. But I do like to win and be competitive. But last month, so a couple months ago, I just remembered another Magic convention I was at. So 8. Anyway, so earlier this year, I started working with Misty Mountain Gaming on their Clash for Cash CEDH tournament series. I came out to a few of the GalaxyCon shows that they were at, just as a cosplay guest to help promote the shows, engage with people, and do panels and stuff like that at the events. And since these events are like super CEDH focused, I was like, okay, if I'm going to be doing these, I should maybe like bring a CEDH deck so that I can at least do pickup games with people. Like, it was never my intention to actually compete in the tournament. It was just have a CEDH deck so I can more better engage with the community members that are at these events. And so I was at GalaxyCon Oklahoma City, and it was at that one that I was like, okay, I have no CEDH decks. I had friends who let me borrow theirs, and I played one for the first time, and it was such a blast. It was actually Lewis Stardust's Winota deck. She let me play that, and I won. I won my very first CEDH deck. Or first CEDH game, playing a deck that I didn't know that wasn't mine against seasoned players. I was like, ha 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 ha. Okay, the spike in me. All right, you see the brewing that is happening here. And so after that, I was like, okay, I need to make my own deck. And so, it was like 2 weeks leading up to Animate Columbus, which was going to be the next Misty Mountain Gaming Clash for Cash event. And I was like, okay, time to make that deck. And so I was looking at decks to make because I'm very particular about the kind of Magic I like to play. I am not a blue mage. Okay. I don't like playing control, which is CEDH is very control heavy. Like those are the meta decks right now, which I've learned. And so I found a deck that I thought would be fun. And it was one of Comedian's decks, his Sisei deck. I'm not going to lie. The reason that I chose to make this deck in particular is because he had Philia, Exuberant Shepherd in the deck. And as a Corgi enthusiast and lover, I was sold. I didn't care about anything else in the deck. I was like, Philia's in this deck. There's a bunch of other really cool looking things. There's Planeswalkers. I love Planeswalkers. Lots of creatures. I don't see a Thassa's Oracle and Demonic Consultation combo. I am in. And magically somehow, between mostly my partner's massive Magic collection and my not massive Magic collection, we were able to throw the deck together in like a night minus like 6 cards.
Okay.
So then I spent the next week scrambling to find like those last few cards. We got them. And so I had a deck. I had played it, I think, once before I left. And I vaguely knew how to play it. And I was like, all right, here we go. And again, I did not plan on entering any tournaments. But at the event, it was Sunday of the event, and there weren't a ton of people signed up for the event.
Okay.
And they're looking for more people, and I didn't really have anything going on that day, panel-wise or anything. So I was like, you know what? I have the time. Let's do it. So I signed up, I entered, and then I ended up getting top 4. So
nice. Okay.
It went really well. And then I caught the bug, and the next weekend at GalaxyCon Raleigh, I spent like the entire weekend competing in the tournaments. I think I competed in 3 that particular weekend. I did terrible because, again, I'm still learning the deck. I'm still learning the metas. I get so nervous playing Magic in paper because I'm a people pleaser at heart. I don't like doing things that make people upset. But you have to do things to make people upset in Magic, right? Especially in Commander, where there's so much politicking. And I think I just wasn't quite ready for the amount of politicking that CEDH players do.
Okay.
And so, like, I was a pushover. Like, if people told me to do things, I was like, okay. Like, oh, don't counter that? Okay. Like, oh, we really need to take care of this? Okay, I'll do something. Like, because I was learning, right? And so I did terrible because I gave in too much, and I just didn't know my deck well enough to play properly. I punted multiple wins, but it's okay. It was a learning experience, and I had an incredible time. And then there was last weekend at Command Fest LA. I was like, you know what? There's a CEDH tournament on Sunday. Let's continue getting some reps in. And so I competed in that. I had an amazing time. I did not even come close to placing, but that's okay. I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, that's the point, though.
And again, there's another incredibly long-winded story of my foray into CEDH.
But you're there now. You're now, a tournament, professional.
I wouldn't say I'm quite like a tournament grinder. It's just if I'm going to be at the event and there's a tournament and I have time, sure.
And the prize pool on these CEDH tournaments is pretty good as well, from what I've seen.
For the Clash for Cash ones, they were definitely pretty high, but yeah.
It's a format, like I was saying, I've not entered yet, but you never know. I might try. I play some high-level salty decks, and it's like, that sounds CEDH.
See, and most of my Commander decks are like high-level, like salty mean decks, and so like it really wasn't that big of a hop, skip, and a jump to just being a full-blown CEDH player. There's hope for you. We can create you a deck on like Moxfield or something, and just get you in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I probably have the cards for it with. Again, I play salty decks, so.
And some tournaments are proxy friendly. So like the ones I was doing with the Clash for Cash, those were proxy friendly. So all of my dual lands were absolutely proxied. So.
Makes sense. But then if you won the event, you could then go and buy the real ones.
Exactly. I wasn't that lucky.
Fund the habit.
Again, I did win one in a raffle. I did buy a lot of raffle tickets to get it. So it's really just kind of turns out to be like a discounted dual land. It's not one I got for free, but I will take it. I will take it.
You still won it. At the end of the day, regardless of how much you paid, you still won it.
Exactly.
That's what matters. Speaking of specific cards, this is a great segue. Let's talk about cards and magic items themselves. So, a set of questions I ask everyone who comes on this show. Everyone watching knows this by now. I take your answers as concrete. It's going on the internet. It will be saved forever. So what you say now is that's it. Everyone will know from this point on. These answers are concrete. Okay. So the first question. Understood. Is what are your top 3 favorite cards out of the 50,000 that exist?
Always so hard because I like so many, and some of the ones I like just for nostalgia reasons. So the one I usually tell people is Fires of Invention. I don't even play that card anymore. It's just when I was learning Magic. It was during the Fires of Invention, Jeskai Fires deck meta that I was playing, and I was learning so much at that time. I was having a great, amazing time, and so Fires of Invention will always have a special place in my heart because of that. Okay. Have I played it in years? No. Should I probably make a deck around it? Yeah, probably. Okay, so that's one.
2 more. 2 to go.
Okay. In that same line of thinking, Cauldron Familiar. That's the one little, 1 black. I think it costs 1 black. Little black cat that when it ETBs, it deals 1 damage to target. I don't even remember how it reads, but goes on board, deals damage, sack it to Witch's Cauldron, gets food token, sacrifice food token, bring cat back, cycle, rinse, repeat.
It is 1 black.
Yes.
Yeah. When it enters,
it's just, I love that card. I had way too much fun with Rakdos and Jun shenanigans, and it's just a good little kitty. And I think it got banned, and that was a shame. Or it might still be banned in Historic. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was.
Ban lists they're a thing.
So let me level with you. I tend to like really broken cards. Okay, like a lot of my favorite cards have been banned.
Okay.
If that tells you anything, like I really liked Meat Hook Massacre. It got a ban. I thought Grief was a really cool card, even though I never really played it in Modern. It got banned today.
Yeah.
I never fell into the Nadu hype train though, so at least not that one. Oko, I adored Oko so much. That's not this one, but the other one. And what they go and ban him. Okay, so I have a history of liking banned cards.
Okay.
For the record. Okay, so third. Sorry, I'm ranting again. Third favorite card. There's so many.
You can't say a basic land either.
I wasn't going to, but what I was thinking was of saying Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth.
Okay.
Because that makes everything a swamp, and I just really like playing black.
Yes.
So we'll go with that one. Okay, it is concrete. It is forever. That is officially one of my favorite cards, I guess.
I will accept that. It is one of mine. As a mono black player and the head of the mono black meanies,
Yes. Wait, is that a club I can join? How do I join?
Yes, it is. We'll discuss it later. We'll chat about it later.
Oh. Is there like an initiation?
A little bit. Hey.
Okay.
Magic's a cult, right? You know, if we're playing mono black, we're taking that cult level to the extreme. But yes. Yeah. For those watching, look for the hashtag mono black meanies. It's there. We're everywhere. But yeah, Urbog's a good card. I like Urbog.
It is.
My favorite deck is Shieldred, so you know I'm all about that.
Yeah, okay. I love her too. I love her so much. She's definitely up there in my top cards.
She's not been banned yet.
I know, and I hope it stays that way. Okay, to be fair, I have not played Standard since Bloom Burrows come out and since rotation. So I primarily play if I'm playing Arena, I'm playing Standard. I don't like the older formats because there's too many cards that I don't like playing, that I don't like running into, like Teferi and Narset, and just like really gross blue control decks. Like not my vibe, not my jam, and they're everywhere in the older formats. And so I just don't play them. So, but if I'm playing Paper Magic, it's generally Commander or a Limited. So
okay. Yeah, I started with Standard when I first started playing, and then I jumped into Arena. Arena is how I got into learning how to play Magic, and you know, like you said before, it's so good for teaching new people Magic. The tutorial section on Arena, I cannot rave about enough. That you know, Wizards, if you're watching, you know, hey, if you want an Arena sponsorship, you know. Anyway.
I always tell my new friends to check out the Arena tutorials because like they will learn more than they realize they're even learning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had a friend who was working with me at Gen Con. Never played Magic, never got into it. Saw us playing Magic at Gen Con and was like, interesting. Maybe I'll get into it. So I told him, go play Arena, do the tutorial. He did that and then sent me a picture literally 3 days ago of one of the Bloomberg Commander decks, which he's gone out and bought.
Yes, another one. We got another one. I love it.
Stealing them all in. But speaking of blue control decks and playing, you know, mono black, if you had a favorite color that you like to play, or color pairing or combo, what would that be?
My favorite color Magic is definitely black. So anything with black in it is solid. I love Rakdos, so red black. I love white black. If we're going 3 colors, I prefer black red green or white black red.
Anything with black in, you're fine.
Yeah. As long as there's black in the deck, you know that I'm going to be having a good time. I'll even do Dimir or Esper, as long as there's a lot more black in there than blue.
I like Dimir though. I like Dimir not for like the control aspects, but for the like I'm gonna stop you, like
sneaky.
Yeah, and like stopping, like I just like having some counter spells in there. It's very helpful when you're running a heavy black deck and like people are gonna come for you. So you might as well stop them when you can with a little bit of blue.
There's a difference between having counter spells to protect your own stuff and having counter spells to stop your opponent from doing literally anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like watching my friends in the pod pop off and like their decks do their thing, but let me do mine. Like I'm mono black, I'm going to infect everything you own, but let me do it. You know?
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine. It's chill. It's fine. Very demure. It's very mindful. That's a trend at the minute. Moving on. As we both play Commander, and it's one of our main formats we play in Paper. At the minute, who would you say is your favourite Commander that you're currently playing?
My favorite currently is probably Sisay, Weatherlight Captain for my CEDH.
Okay.
But keep in mind, I only own like 3 or 4 commander decks that aren't precons. So before Sisay, before I have fallen in love with CEDH and Sisay, my favorite was my Edgar Markov. I
gross.
love vampires. Yes, he's gross. He was my first commander. And so he will always have a special place in my heart. And I keep making that deck dirtier and nastier, and I don't know why people agree to play with it against me. But you know, it's just little vampires. It's fine.
I see. So in the podcast that I do on this channel, so on this channel we do a podcast called Cocktails and Counter Spells. If you've not watched it, go watch it. The last episode we were chatting about like what new decks we're looking at building, and I have 2 project decks. One is a Slivers deck that is going to be my Alien Xenomorph deck, and the other one is I want to build an Edgar Markov vampire deck, but I want to proxy him out and do a proxy version of him that is Carlisle Cullen from Twilight and do a full Twilight vampire deck.
Okay.
Yeah,
because he's like daddy.
He's daddy, and then
like
obviously
the
you'll have like Soren and Olivia
whatever.
as Edward and Bella, and then you just build out the family from there.
Okay. I dig it. I support this Twilight theme.
Yeah. So yes, it's on the way. It will happen. I think I'm going to be doing the Slivers one first because I've very recently purchased some Sliver cards, including a Sliver Queen. Yeah, that's going to be my commander for it. So
that's exciting.
That's going to be a toxic. I say toxic not as in the mechanic, but it's Slivers, so it's going to be a toxic deck to play against.
Right. It's fine.
It'll be fine.
Fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Edgar Markov, gross, but good.
So good. Okay.
So you mentioned you run a lot of precons. Is that something you prefer, or you enjoy to run precons more so? Or it's just a case because you have so many?
I don't run a lot of precons. I just own a bunch. Because like I'll go to Magic events and I do the precon events, and so then I end up with even more precons. So like I'll play them usually at like those live in-person events, or like whenever I'm playing Magic with friends who are new to the game. But I like precons. They're just slow. And I have ADHD, and so I lose focus and motivation very quickly during those games. I get very distracted by a million other things. But they're fun. They are fun.
There's some good ones. There's some good precons. Some of the newer ones are getting a lot more powerful.
Really good ones.
But slow. Yeah, think about it. Some of them, they're a bit slow. They might be powerful, but it takes a little while to get to that power.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
There's generally not even like turn 5 wins. So they're generally like turn 10 or more, turn 20, depending on how many board wipes people do.
True. Yeah, I run a lot of those.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's mono black. It's fine. We allow it. But saying that, being a CDH player, slow games are more of a thing of a past, because it's like, isn't it like playing Yu-Gi-Oh with CDH? Like someone plays certain cards, they're winning turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so I haven't run into any turn 1 wins in CDH. I've definitely run into multiple turn 2 wins. And it just feels bad because most people don't have resources on the board to be able to stop that chaos from rolling in. But yeah, I do think that one of the reasons I like CEDH is because even if the games are slower and grindier, there's still so much happening constantly that like my attention is just enraptured. So, but we'll see how long this hyperfocus stays.
Fair, yeah, true. Yeah. You never know.
By next month, I might be over CEDH and onto something else. Who knows?
Yeah, 2 more tournaments don't go your way, and you're like, you know what? We'll move. We'll go to this. We'll start playing Modern instead and try that out.
Oof. I don't know that I'm ready for that. But I guess they did just ban Nadu, so it might not be as bad.
Yeah, the meta's going to change. Hopefully now.
And they banned Greed.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Okay. We will continue moving forward in our little exploration of your life in Magic. And let's start looking towards the future and, you know, where you see yourself going. Which is literally my question. Where do you, like, with Magic and being a content creator in Magic and being a player and a member of the community, where do you, like, looking ahead, you know, where do you see yourself going with this game? You know, it started as a game, but it is definitely more than a game now.
Yeah, absolutely. I just see my content creation just continuing to evolve. I have so many ideas and plans in the works of creating more and more content. I will eventually make my YouTube properly, consistently running. So I will maybe someday be a go-to Magic YouTuber versus just like that random Magic content creator that you see on Reels and TikTok and just randomly at conventions. But yeah, I want to continue making a lot more professional content, more ads, just more stuff for Wizards. I would love to be able to work more regularly at the Magic conventions, since I love the convention scene. If I could just someday be like a host on stage, that would be a dream. But yeah, just doing more, getting more paid opportunities, more so than I already do. I think that's where I aim to do. But another hope is I'm getting more and more into voice acting. I've been submitting more auditions. I may or may not have a gig coming up that's voice acting related. I can't talk about it yet. But so it'd also be really cool if someday I am the voice of your favorite planeswalker that you hear on Arena. I would love that. Or even just doing other voiceover work for them. Like I know they do the MTG story. It's actually funny. Okay. So way before Magic started doing the Magic story recordings that they release on YouTube now and stuff, I did that. I started doing that for Cal time, and then I got busy with life and had to stop. So I would like to think that they took my idea for their own content for themselves, which is fine. It's fine.
I mean, that means royalties are due, you know.
I don't want to go into those muddy waters. But yeah, I would love to eventually do stuff like that too.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, some good aspirations. More of an evolving of what you do to its kind of next iteration. But what about as a player, as just a fan of Magic and stuff? Where do you see yourself going there? Like you're now doing CEDH tournaments. What's next? Pro Tour?
Oof, that is a grind. I don't know if I have the stamina for, but I think as a player, just personally, I would like to win a tournament, like take first place at a tournament of some variety, whether that's a standard tournament or CEDH, or even just like a random pre-release event at a store. I just want to be first in something at some point.
Okay. Are there any formats that you haven't played yet that you'd like to try?
There's a lot of formats. So I've never played Modern. I've never played Legacy or Pioneer. I've never even played Pauper. I keep hearing a lot about Canlander, like Canadian EDH.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about it, but people keep talking about it. So I feel like I want to try that. And I do want to try Pauper because a lot of people say it's a lot of fun. And it just seems silly. And I know that it's very serious format and people take it very, very seriously. But in my opinion, it seems just silly. And so I want to do weird, silly things with it.
Yeah. just make a sleeveless deck. That's all you need to do. Make a sleeveless deck and play that everywhere with with everything.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's a fun. It's not even like a format thing, but just
It's just a you thing.
No, I'm not the only one. There are lots of people that run sleeveless decks, as we know, and there are people that have been on this channel that run sleeveless decks as well. It's fun, like just to
riffle
shuffle. Yeah. I've cleaned tables with my sleeveless deck when people spill drinks. It's just fun.
I breathe like that because like Magic cards aren't absorbent. So like
no, you have to do it in a very specific way. Yeah.
Like I guess you could just like scrape things into like a puddle and then onto the floor or something, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's You use a commander for that. The commander's the best one to use for that.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's the face card of the deck, so it makes sense to be the one that's face down.
Sure, we'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But on that note, we are in what month? What year are we in? We are at the end of August, with September very closely around the corner. What have you got, or what's coming up in the coming months that you're looking forward to? We have Duskmorn, which is the next set out, which is a month away. We have MagicCon Vegas, we have CubeCon, we have all these other things. What are you looking forward to that's on the horizon?
Well, this coming weekend I will be at SonomaCon. It's just a small Magic convention in Northern California. So I'm excited for that. But I'm most excited for MagicCon Vegas. I am actually doing events at the con this year.
Okay.
Because usually in the past, whenever I'm at MagicCons, I'm busy doing a million different things, whether it's a cosplay contest or just running around frantically doing things, trying to find people in games. But this time I have signed up for events. I am doing events, so I'm super excited for that. But also MagicCon Vegas is just one of the best gatherings because like everybody goes, and so it's just so nice to just see so many friends, meet so many fans, and just play Magic together. I actually rarely play Magic at MagicCons, so the fact that I will be playing Magic this time will be great. I have some other fun, really exciting things happening at MagicCon Vegas that I can't announce yet, but they'll be fun.
Cool. Nice. And in terms of sets, are you looking forward to Duskmorn?
Oh, yes, I am very excited for Duskmorn. I love horror. And so like every preview and thing that they've shown about the set, I just love it. Like I know there's a lot of people who are just like, oh, this doesn't feel like Magic. Like they're in a haunted house. I'm always like, yes, I love this. I love these like specialty episodes that we're having of like Magic sets. And it's gonna be really interesting to just see the set come together and come to life or unlife. But I love the flavor of it. I look forward to just comparing cards to wherever their movie or book origination come from. Yeah, references. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. Like I think it was today they revealed that Meat Hook Massacre 2 is going to be a thing. So I am so excited.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what that is because we don't know what the card is. We just know Meat Hook Massacre 2 is like, okay, so what's the difference between is it just this one's the unbanned version?
Right. And I mean, like, horror movies are known for having sequels. So the fact that Magic cards are going to be having sequels in this set brings me so much joy. I love it. I'm very excited. I'm also looking forward to Foundations. Just because some of the cards they've revealed from that seem really fun and neat. Like I'll be able to have another blood artist type vampire to add to my Edgar deck. I don't remember what it's called. But it's literally blood artist.
Yeah.
The Nine Lives Familiar, is that what it is? Whatever the cat is. I really like the cat that's coming out for Foundations. And it'll just be nice to have just like a a basic Magic set.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Foundations. It's to have that base level, a nice entry point for new players and everything is nice. It's needed. Yeah.
But most importantly, I am excited for the Final Fantasy Universes Beyond coming out next year. You can't really see it, but like my wall is covered in Final Fantasy stuff, just not the parts you can see behind me.
Nice.
I am a huge Final Fantasy fan, so super excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah, I don't know how. I know it's next year. I don't know how soon it is. Actually, I've not looked at how soon it is next year.
I don't remember.
I
think like March. Okay. I think it's March or April.
So we should get previews.
I think it's
Feb, I would say.
Probably. I could be wrong. I don't know.
No. If it's not, they'll change it so it is. So we're right. That'll happen.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. We'll just tell Gavin to move it forward if it's further back.
Exactly. I mean, I imagine it'll be soon enough that they have like Final Fantasy stuff at whatever MagicCon event they have early next year.
Yeah, because there's usually like a March, April.
Yeah, like February, March show. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Interesting. Yeah, I am excited for the Final Fantasy one. Yeah, I'm wondering because it's Universe Beyond. I'm wondering what we're gonna get. Because are we just going to get Commander decks, or are we going to get?
No, so this one is supposed to be a tentpole set, so it'll be a lot more similar to Lord of the Rings, where it's like a full set and Commander decks and everything. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So.
Yeah. Nice.
It's going to be amazing.
I mean, there's a lot of Final Fantasy games, so there's a lot they can pull from. So it makes sense. It makes sense to do.
Yes.
To do that.
Absolutely.
Cool. Ooh, exciting. Yeah. We'll have to keep our ears to the ground for that one. So, on that note, I have no more further questions and inquiries to ask. All that's left to do is to say thank you very much for joining us and for sitting down. Thanks for sitting down and telling us about how you got into Magic and how it's kind of shaped the things you do now. Before we say our goodbyes to everyone, it's that time of the hour where we shill our wares and who we are and where to find us. So please, I know you told us at the beginning, but you can remind everyone, it's all in the description below, but if you can let everyone know where they can find you, it would be fantastic.
Yeah, so I am Zabracus, Zabracus. You can find me pretty much anywhere on the internet as Zabracus. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. I will never call it X. Pretty much everywhere except YouTube. I'm Zabracus. On YouTube, I'm Zab's Nerd House. If you type in Zabracus, you'll still probably find me. But yeah, you can find me at all the places, and sometimes in person at random conventions.
All the conventions, because so far you've done all of them this year, it would seem.
Many. I don't think I'll be at CubeCon, and I probably won't be at DreamHack.
Okay.
And I won't be at PAX West. But I will be at Vegas.
Yes, that's the main one. So, on that note, again, thank you very much for joining us. To those watching, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube algorithm thingamajigs if you want. If you don't, it's fine. You've watched it. We've had fun. I got a view. Thank you for joining us. If you do want to hang out and chat more community stuff and more games, Checkfortraps has a Discord. Again, link is in the description. We do game nights, we do early releases of videos that are coming up on the channel, and bits and pieces over there as well. So by all means, jump in there and come say hello. And with that, I think we're done here. So peace, and we'll see you all later. Bye.